Welcome to Top 30. I'm Kristen Smith.
And I'm Richard Bacon, and here are your top 30 stories in 30 minutes.
The Federal Reserve has raised an interest rate. Here's what that means for you. A key interest rate went up by 1/4 point, putting it in a range of 1.25 to 1.5%. It's the third hike this year, a sign that the Fed believes the economy is strong. In her final press conference as Fed chair, Janet Yellen said, "At the moment, the U.S. economy is performing well. There's less to lose sleep about now than has been true for quite some time." The move will affect millions of Americans who borrow money. Many credit cards have variable annual percentage rates that are tied to the Fed rate. Experts said the rate increase could add $1.46 billion in finance charges just next year. The average payment on a $25,000 car could go up about $9 a month, but experts say competition between lenders might keep payments low. Those with fixed-rate mortgages shouldn't see payments change, but adjustable-rate mortgages change every year. After this year's rate hikes, a family with a $200,000 mortgage will see their payment go up about $84 next year. There's some good news. Because banks will be charging more, they might pay higher interest rates for savings accounts. But hate to break it to you, more rate hikes are expected next year.
Actress Salma Hayek has joined the growing list of women accusing producer Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment, and he's responded. In an opinion piece for the New York Times, Hayek says that after she took a film project about painter Frida Kahlo to Weinstein's company, she was subjected to years of sexual advances. She says that Weinstein showed up unexpectedly at hotels and film shoots to ask Hayek to shower with him, engage in sex acts, and massage her. Hayek alleged that when she refused, at one point Weinstein told her, "I will kill you. Don't think I can't." Weinstein allegedly showed up on the set of Frida and threatened to shut the whole thing down if Hayek didn't film a full frontal nude scene with another woman. Hayek agreed to keep the film going. She writes, "For the first and last time in my career, I had a nervous breakdown." A spokesman for Weinstein denies Hayek's claims. More than 50 women have now accused Weinstein of sexual harassment or assault. He has denied any wrongdoing, and right now he is being investigated by police in New York, Los Angeles, and London. Hayek said she was inspired to share her experience after other women came forward.
A historic Hollywood purchase is going down. Disney is shelling out $52.4 billion for key assets of 21st Century Fox, a deal that nets Disney 20th Century Fox's movie and television studio and regional sports networks. Rupert Murdoch will retain control of other assets, including the Fox News Channel, his newspapers, and the Fox Broadcast Network. Top 30 is produced by a unit of Fox. And a team of researchers, including Stephen Hawking, are investigating a cigar-shaped asteroid to find out if it could actually be an alien spacecraft. Now watch as 16-year-old Ayrton Little refreshes his laptop to find out if he got into Harvard. Or not. It's hard enough to get into Harvard, but to do it at 16? Way to go, Ayrton.
Let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with your friend and mine, Nicole Pedlidis. Nicole, I am hearing that Subway is bringing some good news to its customers.
That's right, Richard. Subway has seen a 25% plunge in customer traffic over the past 5 years. So it's bringing back the $4.99 footlong sandwich deal for a limited time. Good news for customers, but franchise owners are not happy about this. More than 400 have signed a petition against the move. Forget models. Turns out many Instagram users trust dogs more than human models. For that reason, brands and platforms are using animal influencers to produce sponsored content that people actually choose to follow and engage with. And it pays off. One of the stores makes around $100 for every 10,000 followers. The WWE is teaming up with Facebook on a new series that'll stream exclusively on social media platforms' watch video section.
Nicole, what is behind this partnership and just how profitable is the WWE?
Last year, WWE Network subscribers watched a total of 294 million hours of content. And it's a real moneymaker, too. Revenue increased 11% to $729 million. It's the highest in the company's history. More Top 30 when we return.
A new survey released sweeping findings about teen drug use, and it's worth asking, do you know what your kids are doing? The good news is, for some drugs, rates are the lowest they've been in decades. In 1991, 54% of high school seniors, 42.8% of sophomores, and 25.1% of 8th graders reported drinking alcohol within the past 30 days. But in 2017, those rates dropped dramatically to 33.2%, 19.7%, and 8% respectively. In the mid-1990s, 24.6% of seniors reported smoking cigarettes every day, but today that rate is only 4.2%. However, teens are vaping instead, and only a quarter of 12th graders are aware vaporizers contain nicotine, which is still highly addictive. Marijuana use has remained steady over the last decade, even as rates for other drugs fell. Let all of this be a reminder that having honest conversations with our kids is important. Okay, Richard, I hear you have a story now about a war on Christmas?
I do, Kristen. Fewer Americans view Christmas as a religious holiday, and they're okay with it. The New York Times reports 90% of Americans observe Christmas in some form. However, this year's Pew Research Center survey found only 55% celebrate it as a religious holiday, and an enormous 33% as simply a cultural holiday. 9% of respondents found it to be a mix of both. This change of perspective can be seen in the way the holiday is spent, with just 51% attending a religious service. While some blame the war on Christmas for the decline, the survey also found 52% didn't care if they were greeted with Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. Millions of Americans are flying this holiday season, but not all of their items will get through security. The TSA has a list of items prohibited from checked or carry-on luggage or both. While many seem like common sense, the agency's warehouses still fill up with knives and actual guns. Those that have items confiscated at security checkpoints are likely to see them on the agency's Instagram feed, often with a snarky caption. So far this year, the TSA has reminded flyers to keep all knives and swords in checked bags and made a reference to orcs from Lord of the Rings. In 1 week, they confiscated 63 guns from carry-on bags, 58 of which were loaded. One creative traveler hid a knife in their deodorant. This week, the agency released some holiday travel tips in an effort to avoid longer lines and unnecessary searches. Wrapped presents are allowed but not encouraged. Some will have to be unwrapped. Toy guns and swords that look like the real thing on X-rays will have to be inspected. Snow globes and spreadable food like jellies have to meet the 3.4-ounce liquid rule for carry-ons. The agency recommends mailing wrapped gifts to your destination and, you know, leaving your guns at home.
A new study released by United Health Foundation ranks the states from healthiest to most unhealthy, with Massachusetts ranking as the healthiest state in the union. This is a first for Massachusetts, dethroning Hawaii, who's come in on top for the past 5 years. Rounding out the rest of the top 5 is Hawaii, Vermont, Utah, and Connecticut, respectively. The states categorized as unhealthiest are West Virginia, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. In order to make the list, a variety of factors were considered, including rates of infectious diseases, obesity, physical inactivity, infant mortality, smoking, as well as air pollution levels and the availability of healthcare providers. Dr. George S. Benjamin, Executive Director of the American Public Health Association, says we don't have a system with everybody in. We're failing in our fundamental task to be a healthier nation. And if you're watching this story right now, it means no matter where you live, you still have time to turn things around. Listen up, last-minute shoppers. Want to get free shipping and a guarantee that your presents will make it to their destination on time? Well, take advantage of Free Shipping Day. What is that, you ask? Almost 850 retailers will waive shipping costs for purchases made on December 15th. That's this Friday. That includes Amazon, Best Buy, and Disney. You don't have to worry because there's no minimum purchase, and the gifts will get there by Christmas Eve. This is the 10th year for Free Shipping Day. It's been a success in years past, with sales hovering around $1 billion each year. To see a complete list of stores participating and to get special offers, go to our Facebook page at Top 30 TV.
Temperatures in one town have risen so much this year that they fooled a computer. Barrow, Alaska vanished from a routine report by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration last month. The town has gone so warm, computers assumed the temperature data it received was an error. Barrow is the northernmost city in the United States. It sits at the edge of the Arctic Circle and is home to instruments the agency has used to record temperatures for decades. Thanks to climate change, the Arctic is warming faster than any other place on Earth. There is now less sea ice to reflect sunlight, causing temperatures to skyrocket. In Barrow, the average December temperature has climbed 4.7 degrees since the year 2000. In its recent report, NOAA said this year is the second warmest ever recorded in the Arctic. Climate experts say the environment is changing so quickly they can't quite grasp it. Apparently, neither can their computers.
In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 2 Detroit, DeAndre Hagar was driving along the highway when he had a seizure and crashed. Tragedy was averted when several Good Samaritans pulled over to come to his aid. Taken to the hospital before learning their names, DeAndre appeared on Fox 2 looking to thank his guardian angels. And the cameras were there to capture his happy reunion with one of them, Siobhan Thomas. Once strangers, now friends. Our next story from KTVU, the Golden Gate Harley Owners Group may look tough, but they sure are sweet, collecting donations on their 28th annual toy run. The toys will go to the less fortunate and those spending the holiday season at San Mateo Medical Center.
There are a lot of families that really count on this every year to make a great holiday, a great Christmas time for the kids in the area. So it's become a really important part of the community.
In the event's 27 years, the group has donated nearly 1 million toys to children in need. Our final story from Fox 29 Philadelphia. 2,000 families recently got the call of a lifetime. 4 years of free tuition for their child to attend grade school. Each year, the Children's Scholarship Fund of Philadelphia holds a lottery to provide low-income families with K through 8th grade scholarships.
A blessing on top of a blessing. Like, I couldn't be more thankful.
23,000 scholarships have been awarded in the fund's 16 years, giving kids the education they deserve, not what they can afford. Anxiety in kids is at an all-time high, and Norwegian researchers think they've figured out why. Overprotection of children plays a factor, and a study published in Evolutionary Psychology argues that allowing kids to participate in risky play results in lower levels of anxiety overall. The research suggests that when kids experience fear, like climbing up high or handling something sharp, it keeps them alert and careful, ultimately teaching them how to cope with dangerous situations. Of course, with risky play comes the chance of getting hurt, but typically injuries are minor, and researchers say the long-term benefits outweigh the risk. I know it's hard to let go, trust me, but sometimes we just have to let kids be kids. When it comes to picking a topper to your Christmas tree, a typical choice might be a star or maybe an angel. Well, one company has found a fun way to combine the two. Women to Look Up To offers a selection of stars outfitted with wings. Stars like Beyonce, Hillary Clinton, and Serena Williams. And if you can't part with your usual tree topper, the company also sells Christmas cards featuring these real-life angels. But these designs aren't just a fun take on a classic. They also go towards a good cause, with a percentage of sales funding talks and mentorship between young women and industry leaders. A new topper will be unveiled this week with nominees like Amal Clooney, Melinda Gates, and Michelle Obama. It's definitely something new and, not to mention, a great conversation starter.
Verona and Miranda got engaged this summer, and while going through old family photos, they made an incredible discovery. The two were looking at a childhood picture of Verona and her family at the beach when Miranda noticed the young boy on a floaty in the background. He said, "Hold up, I think that's me." Verona explained, "We both looked at each other and said, no way, that can't be true." Miranda was able to confirm with his family that they were indeed at the same beach at the same time, and it was him in the photo. It was by all accounts a chance encounter that Verona's family had been visiting the beach in Montenegro while vacationing from their home in London, and Miranda's family was there visiting from Kosovo. A statistical improbability and a happy coincidence.
When we think about war-torn areas, rarely do we think about how animals are affected by the conflict. But one man has made saving them his life's work. Amir Khalil, an Egyptian veterinary surgeon, works at the organization 4Paws. The Austria-based animal welfare group organizes rescue missions for animals trapped in war zones. Khalil has spearheaded missions to save dancing bears in Bulgaria and elephants in Zimbabwe. But most recently, Khalil has worked to rescue animals from Iraq and Syria, where zoos have been reduced to rubble in the midst of rampant terrorism. Rescuing the animals is expensive and oftentimes dangerous. But Khalil says the animals' innate sense of hope inspires him to keep going. He told The Guardian, humans have the option to escape, but animals caged in a zoo don't have this option. They cannot speak, they have no political agenda, but they are messengers from the darkness. Khalil shines a spotlight on some of the less recognized casualties of war.
A new report says that many comments left on federal websites are fake. The Wall Street Journal found hundreds of thousands of fake comments posted on the websites of the Federal Communications Commission, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and Securities and Exchange Commission. They appear to use stolen identities and are posted by sites that send massive amounts of comments or fake email accounts. The announcement by FCC head Ajit Pai that the agency will roll back net neutrality is believed to have prompted the most comments in government history. Over 23 million people have spoken out. The Journal found 818,000 of those comments were identical. They criticized the Obama administration for smothering innovation online. Reporters sent surveys to email addresses left on the site. 72% of those who answered said the comments weren't theirs. Many Democrats have called on the agency to delay this week's vote on net neutrality. New York's Attorney General Eric Schneiderman is investigating the comments. He says the number of fake comments is over 1 million. He said this is akin to identity theft on a massive scale. So far, the FCC has not cooperated. A spokesman for Pai said this is an attempt by people who want to keep the Obama administration's heavy-handed internet regulations to delay the vote. If you want to see if your name was used in a comment to the FCC without your permission, head to the Top 30 Facebook page, or alternatively, go to their website and write a real comment. Lyft launched its service in Canada this week, making Toronto their first foray outside of the United States. Uber has already been established in Toronto for 5 years, and taxi drivers in Canada's largest city have not been happy about it. In 2015, they launched a class action lawsuit against Uber, seeking more than $400 million. Lyft's Toronto launch conveniently comes just one day after Uber had to apologize to a Toronto customer who was accidentally charged more than $18,000 for a 21-minute ride. Toronto Mayor John Tory said, "I hope Lyft compete fairly and that people understand they have a greater choice as to how to get around the city," which is, I think, nowadays a very good thing. Lyft says more than 50,000 people in Toronto have already downloaded the app. No telling yet what another rideshare will do for Toronto's notorious gridlocked traffic.
Johnny Carson's former beachfront home is on the market. The former Tonight Show host bought the 2-bedroom, 4.5-bath home in 1984 and lived there until his death in 2005. The home is about 7,100 square feet and features a triangle-shaped living room with 30-foot glass windows. There are stone floors and a copper and glass fireplace that warms up the room. The master bedroom includes his and her bathrooms and separate offices. It takes up the whole second floor and has an amazing ocean view. Outside, there's a saltwater swimming pool, a gym, and a tennis court. Fashion mogul and film producer Sidney Kimmel and his wife currently own the home, but it could be yours if you meet the asking price of $81.5 million. When Danielle Grubasic's little sister wanted a pet cat, first she asked her dad, and when that didn't work, she got creative. According to People Pets, Danielle's little sister used a little emotional manipulation to plead with her father to finally allow her to adopt a new kitty. To do this, the little sister created an art project she titled The Wall of Sorrow. It's a vision board that appeals to the emotions of their father, complete with images of homeless cats crying and notes that talk about the high number of cats in shelters. There's even a manifesto where she swears she'll take sole responsibility of the animal and explains how to properly dispose of litter. Danielle shared the story in a tweet that says, "My little sister made a wall of sorrow to make my dad feel bad so she could get a cat." Well, it worked. That's one little girl who's learning how to get what she wants early.
Kristen, we're talking about getting work emails at home. New research reports your annoyance at getting after-hours emails. A team of scientists now says it can have negative effects on your health. Plus, there will be robots at the 2018 Olympic Games. They will help with security, information services, and cleaning. And this one will even carry the Olympic torch. And NFL star Drew Brees has opened a new, inclusive playground in the city of New Orleans. It's designed for children of all abilities. It's all coming up on the next Top 30.